Back on the road again, heading into Moose Jaw today. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. I've got about an hour drive, hour and a bit to get there. But had a great spot last night, nice and quiet on a little lake, which was great. So, off to Moose Jaw. Made it to Moose Jaw. I am doing a tour of tunnels that run under the city, which I'm doing, starts at 1 o'clock, so I got a bit of time. Gonna eat some food and then go check out the tunnels. It's supposed to be about like a 45-minute tour, so I thought that'd be cool to check out. So that's what I'm doing. First some lunch. There are 3 tours that you could choose from, or you could do all 3 or 2 or 1 or whatever. So I'm just doing the one, and it's based on Al Capone's connection to Moose Jaw. So check that one out. Just got back from the tour. Unfortunately, I couldn't film or take any photos in there. Weren't allowed to, so that wasn't great, but it was a good tour, just under an hour. The tour started on one side of the street and then went underground to all the tunnels and then ended up on the other side of the street. They had, on the tour that I was on, there was basically 2 like tour guides who were playing like in character, and they kind of went through everything, how they smuggled alcohol in to Canada and then also into the States and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of cool. A lot of which was maple syrup bottles, or they made it look like it was maple syrup bottles, but it was alcohol. So also going down through all the tunnels, there was a lot of like hidden doors and all that kind of stuff, obviously to stay away from if any of the police came or anything. That being said though, Al Capone had a lot of people in government and also people that worked at the police that he basically paid off so that he would get away with a lot of stuff. So it was really interesting to kind of learn. Plan is to go do some groceries. Tonight I'm gonna stay here in Moose Jaw, and then tomorrow head out to Regina. Do some things out there, maybe stay there a couple days in Regina. But today it's a bit of running errands, so time to get groceries. Before I do groceries, I realized I have a headlight out in the van and I need windshield washer fluid, and I saw a Canadian Tire, so gotta go pick up that first. Well, something that's stupid about these light bulbs is how expensive they are. 2 light bulbs cost me $60.
These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home.
Light bulb fixed, windshield washer fluid filled up. Ready to go. Groceries done.
Headlights are shining on the sea.
Stayed here last night at the visitor center in Moose Jaw. They let you park overnight, so there was quite a few other campers here, which was great. Nice quiet night. Last night, yesterday was mostly just running errands, and then last night watched game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, so I went and grabbed a beer here in town so I could watch the game. and then ended up in my camp spot last night at like close to 10 o'clock, I think. But yeah, on the road again this morning. Heading to Regina. Probably gonna spend a couple days there, so got a few things I want to check out and see. Let's go hit the road.
Place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else.
The last few days have been a bit of driving, and mostly through smaller towns and whatnot, which I don't mind, but in Saskatchewan, when it's basically just all flat and farmers' fields, it gets kind of boring after a little while. A few of the towns I went through, it looked like there was maybe like 15 houses, and I just thought, man, it takes you like an hour and a half to go get groceries in the next biggest town over that has a grocery store. So it's always nice to come back into the city. I feel like there's a little bit more stuff to do. And yeah, a lot of the smaller towns too. I saw some people putting up a sign for a U15 softball, girls softball team, and I just thought, do you even have enough people in the town to make one softball team, let alone just like a U15 like girls softball team? So it's always nice to be back in the city, or a city, smaller. Regina's not huge, but enough for lots of stuff to do, so. Time to go check out a medieval castle. I'm leaving the van where I parked it earlier. It's just like an 8-minute walk over there, so I figured rather than trying to find another parking spot again, just walk over there. Got back from the medieval castle, which apparently is the only one in Canada. That was a fun tour to look through. And he had a lot of like, the guy that owned it did the tour for us, and I think we spent like an hour and a half walking through there. That was pretty cool. And he had lots of paintings, and some of the bed frames he said were like from 1600, all hand carved by wood and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool and interesting. And he was very open about telling about how much everything costs. Like one of the bed frames apparently costs about $25,000 on today's market, what he could sell it for if he wanted to. So that was interesting. Had to do a bit more running errands. I don't know if you can see behind me all my shorts hanging up. I had to do laundry, so I've been at the laundromat for the last like hour and a half. So laundry done, much needed. Fresh bed sheets, which are always the best. And now I'm gonna go find my camp spot for tonight, make some dinner. The amount of times I forget to latch my cabinet doors shut and then they go flying open when I'm driving. I've already had to fix my big one for the fridge. Both the latches broke, so I kind of did a bush fix with some rope and it just holds it shut while I drive. But off to my camp spot.
Closer this, I'm sure. You try to say the sunrise the same. But tell me, have you ever danced in the rain? And I could try to just follow the sweat.
Camp spot for tonight. It's a residential area, so hopefully it'll be nice and quiet and I don't get bothered. But morning. Today I parked here, or last night parked here by a park in a little residential area. Nice and quiet. Today, heading into town. The only plan is I'm gonna go check out a farmer's market. So let's go do that.
Find this anywhere else.
Starting to rain. Hasn't rained in a while, which might be a good thing for all the forest fires. There's a bunch of food trucks over there. I don't know what they got, but it smells good.
And I could try to just follow the sweat.
There was one thing that I thought if I see it, I'm buying it. Cinnamon bun. I love my cinnamon buns. Nice homemade cinnamon bun, so we'll see how that tastes. I'm gonna eat my cinnamon bun, see how this thing tastes. It's bad if it's my breakfast, isn't it? I haven't eaten any breakfast yet, so cinnamon bun's my breakfast for today. My only plan today was to check out the market. It was a lot smaller than I thought, but it was still good. Lots of stuff to look through and whatnot. So I'm gonna eat my cinnamon bun. I'm staying in Regina one more night tonight and then head out of town tomorrow morning. I gotta figure out what I'm doing in the next week or so. I don't really have much planned, so gotta figure that out. I think I'm gonna end the video there. See you in the next one.